Hello everyone, it's Andy Glenn here, welcoming you all to another podcast and another Coach's Corner podcast with Martin Grubb. Martin, nice to see you after a wee break.
Yes, nice to see you, Andy. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Did you have a good Christmas?
It's good, thank you, yeah. Kids enjoyed themselves, and apart from stickers, don't ever buy stuff that needs stickers.
Right, that's a completely other podcast, but you enjoying playing with stickers on wrestling rings and Barbie things?
Yeah, to be fair, like Katie does the building. She's the flat packer and the builder.
She's the engineer and you're the artistic.
100%. I'm the foreman. I just oversee it as the gaffer. But no, nice to spend some time with family, and obviously it was short lived because we were in Leeds on Boxing Day. But the joys of pro hockey.
Yeah, and you've came back from the World Championships as well, so you've been really busy. Quick word on the World Championships before we get into the Shark stuff.
Still heartbroken, if I'm honest. Like, it's the hardest dressing room I've ever had to walk into. I think being so close yet so far. Obviously we had to pull the goalie and with a win in regulation, and it just never fell for us, being 3-1 up, and one bad line change, and still watched it loads. A soft penalty. Obviously we should still kill it, but it was really tough. Really proud of the players. Really proud of this place in terms of the organisation, the event itself. Obviously, yourself and Owen included in that with the commentary. I thought we put on a great event. We put on a great show in terms of. Somebody had told us in June at the start of our team building process we'd play a kind of one-off for a gold medal. We would have took that. But yeah, it still hurts a wee bit, and the young players. I think it'll take a wee while to shake it off, but they done well. Just unfortunate we couldn't get the right coloured medal. But a medal, when you review it, a medal in a World Championships of any colour is always an achievement. So you got to be proud of that. And then now just happy to be back to the day job and hopefully start picking up some wins and climbing the table here with the Sharks.
Well, you're actually smiling this morning, which is it's just unheard of, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, it's probably just I've got the cold and I'm trying to breathe.
I'm not buying that. We're recording this obviously the day after the overtime win against the Seahawks. But if we can review maybe the last 2 or 3 games, the Romford game was another overtime win. What were your thoughts on that game?
I thought it was a good game actually for both teams. We discussed it pre-game. It was a big game for us. I think on the back of Hull away, where we were right in the mix until a couple of later goals. Peterborough away again, we were right in the mix, and Jamie pulled the goalie there, and we get back, and then we lose one quick again. So a 2 and 3 goal game where on another night we might have picked something up. So going into the Raiders game, we spoke to the players and said, really, this is the start of a busy festive period. I think you've got to be in touch for us with that playoff spot at the end of this run a game. So it was really big, and I thought that we showed huge character. And we were never in front until that last goal, and I guess that's the one that really mattered. I thought the Raiders, albeit they were a bit short, and we've been there for the last wee while. They played some good stuff. Curtis was solid. I think our big players stepped up when we needed them to. And it was a good win. Good win. I think once it's one of these things when it goes to overtime, barring that one game against Swindon, and even at that, Rennie Marr made a huge save. It touched it onto the bar. Like we always feel confident going in there. But it was a good performance. Thought it was a better performance than we'd put up just prior to the World Championships in a couple of the games. Mm-hmm. Better defensively, which was important. Our special teams were better, so I think it was a good springboard for this last couple of games here that we've obviously since that Romford game. And
can I ask about the Romford game, the overtime, because we watched on stream. There was no commentary in the stream, so it was pretty difficult to find out what went on. But there was a penalty on a face-off in overtime, which gave us the man of the match. What was that penalty for? Because I never saw the official's hand go up for a warning in the first instance.
I think the first one was, the ref had put his hand up for the last change. They never changed. Then they made a late change. So they get the delay of the game, kind of one warning on the face-off guy.
Right.
then as obviously goes to drop the puck the second time, the guy turns on the draw, which is a face-off infringement. If I'm Sean Easton, who I work with Sean, I'm friends with Sean, I'm probably really pretty peeved with that call in overtime. It can be certainly perceived as a soft one if it's against you in overtime.
In overtime, yeah.
For us, it's, I guess, a letter of the law. It's a face-off infringement, so it's a power play. But you've still got to score. When you go 4-on-3, it's a lot of ice out there, and it's a decent power play to have. So we created a little bit, and then Olivier, it was a nice finish actually. He's
starting to score goals as Olivier, isn't he?
Yeah, he's found his shooting stick eventually. It took him a wee while just to find that. But I think the thing with Olivier is, as we know, I think he's a quality hockey player. He creates so much for us, and it's nice to see him get rewarded with a little bit of an end product in the last few games with some goals. So long may that continue. And I think as a group, it was big. When you go overtime, a point was going to be good for us in a long road trip.
Yeah.
But we kind of said that we'd manage to complete that comeback when you can't go all the way down there and not then come home with the 2. And that little early Christmas boost, Christmas present. So, yeah, credit to the boys. They stuck to the task. As I say, we were never in front until that last goal. And 2 points is 2 points at this stage when, looking at the league right now, there's maybe 5 or 6 of us fighting for that bottom end. So
it's tightening up, isn't it?
Yeah, every 2 points is big. Every point right now is big. So to get the road point was big, but to get 2 was even better. So, I was quite happy with that one.
And then we moved on to Leeds the other night. I have to say I really enjoyed watching the Leeds game. I didn't feel there was that much between us, other than the fact that they've got a couple of really, really standout players. But we rang them the pipework 3 times, and another day that might have went. And what was your thoughts on the Leeds game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're never happy when you lose a hockey game, but strangely, I was happy enough with the performance.
Yeah.
I thought we played a bit more like Sharks hockey. I thought we took the game to them where we could. We had to obviously defend in long spells where I thought we were actually really pretty good in our D zone. The only bit that hurt us is they had 1 PP and they scored. And I guess they get the puck across the seam, but it's a little bit of magic with the finish. Curtis made some really good saves all night again. And on another night, like you say, between some near misses, we'll call them, for me missing the net too much, but some good saves by Gospel. I guess that's why they're up there, because he keeps them in games. He steals games for them, and that might be one of them where I'm not going to sit here and say they stole the game, but they probably with Gospel either not playing as well as he did or a different goalie, we might win that game. So I think we were reasonably happy with how we came out of that. We did also show that, like you say, a guy like Kieran Brown,
it was brilliant.
It's not a secret, right? Nobody needs. We're not being disrespectful to our own team because we like the group we've got here, and we've got some really good players. But Kieran has shown for the last few years just how good a hockey player he is, and it's big moments. He doesn't need a second opportunity, and that's just where we've got to get to.
I thought Stetton handled them reasonably well, though.
I thought in general, that line they've got, Barron, Boessa, Brown, we kept them relatively quiet. Now, obviously, I think all 3 of them, it was the 3 goal scorers, but it was we'd done the video pre-Hull, and it was just little breakdowns. The first one, we just lost Kieran on a change of sides. The second one, I spoke to Kersey about that at the time. It was he's tried to help Olivier out because he thought that Kieran had the step on him, where he probably could just peel off and play a 2-on-2, and the puck ends up on Boessa's stick. And again, credit to him, he stuck it in the net. And then the third one's a power play. Yeah. But yeah, I think we hit the poster bar 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, 3 times.
A couple other chances where Gospel's made some good saves. There was one that hit his butt end of his stick that for peaks it. Credit to him, he stopped it, but I had no idea that he saved it. So I think it's probably our best showing against a very good team. Obviously, a double winning team for last year. And as much as we were disappointed, it just proved that we can play at the top end. Obviously, we've beat Milton Keynes, who are battling for top spot and flipping first and second there. We beat Peterborough, who are sitting in third at the moment. And we'd already beat Hull.
Wildcats as well.
We've beat pretty much just, I think apart from Sheffield, we might have beat everybody.
Sheffield and Leeds.
And Leeds, obviously, yeah. So I think to get close there on the road was still a little bit of a confidence boost, knowing that, we're getting better. We can play with these teams, and the finer details we will still get to. And we knew, obviously, coming into last night's game as we speak, that there was some things we could tidy up on, but there was a lot of positives that we can take out of it, and I think we took that into the whole game.
Well, talking about last night's game, that's going to be the one that we're going to have a little look through the highlights and let you talk as you watch. So these are the highlights that are on YouTube, and our highlights are on there, and I need you to like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel, and remember, hit that bell for the notifications as well. That really helps. But we'll let Martin talk through the nearly 5 minutes highlights. We'll maybe stop at various bits and bobs when you want to give us some insight, because we know it's a part of the show that fans really like.
Yeah, no problem.
What were your thoughts going into this game, Martin? You fancy
I
the
think
2
we're really
points?
confident. We said, even you could see for the first face-off, it was, try and be aggressive, hunt some pucks. It's the first period here where I thought we had a lot of half-decent chances. Credit to both goalies. Both goalies made saves at that stage. And Nolan had a chance there. I thought Curtis looked really composed. In the net, I think here, like one of these ones where us going to the net, I thought this was really big for us. I would like to have seen us being better on the 5-on-3 that we had, but then we had to kill one. There was one I remember, Peaks making a huge block. We kept him outside the circles. We did have a chat before the game. Then this happens. Let's see if we can go back a touch here, because I don't think
it was Callie's first goal, wasn't it?
Callie's first goal, but for me, that pass right there, Olivier Arsenault to John Dunbar is a highly skilled pass. A lot of people don't make that pass. Callie knows where to go, stick on the ice, tidy finish. Nice for him to score on his home debut. He's given us a lot in the same shift. He very nearly gets that second one there.
Yeah.
And again, just at that stage, I thought we had a lot of confidence. Then, again, D-zone, decent enough shape. We were pushing, I think, at that stage to try and get that second goal. But we know Hull are a decent team. They're an offensively gifted team. They at this stage, just another little clip of they were throwing pucks to the net. But I thought, like as we're seeing here with Curtis, and even our forwards were getting out and giving them no real chance to shoot the puck. Curtis is making saves. Even when we had to scramble a few times, I thought we were in a good spot. Then we just a little missed assignment here. Scotty loses his stick straight off the face-off. A little bit of missed assignment. We could probably be a bit better with that. But then, I guess it's going back to just being smart on the puck and making good decisions and just playing with some composure. So I think that was maybe some of the little bit of difference. Then we go hunting, we turn the puck over. Callie, I thought, showed some real patience there. He could have shot that puck and then gave it to Dunny. And Dunny does what Dunny does when he gets in these scoring opportunities. Then we get to this third period for me, I think that's just a bit soft.
Yeah, they scored 3 unanswered goals.
Then we go, that's a big save for us. We discussed it after the game. I think Curtis gave us a chance to win all night. For me, I want this blocked. So much traffic in front.
You can't blame the keeper for that one.
No, so much traffic. We've got to take a better angle, and so Declan can only put that puck down rather on net. Then again, I just think that they played with a bit of confidence at this stage. We looked a little bit ragged. Maybe the only spell. We played that 10-minute spell. We just never created enough. Then, again, there's another one, Bobby Chamberlain. We just allow him to roll over the top, and it's just a little bit easy, the shot. And they were just, I know we're killing penalties here, but they were They were just getting a little bit too much opportunities to put pucks to the net.
I have to say there was a penalty called in Stuart Kerr just before this bit. Never a hooking penalty in my days, but
yeah, and then that one for me, I agree with the penalty. That one we turn a puck over there that we should never turn a puck over, and we give Curtis no chance to make that save. But I thought we stuck at it at this stage in the game on the bench.
Did you still think you had a chance?
Yeah, I mean the chat.
Very odd.
The chat was very simple, right? It was we had two choices at this stage as a team. You either kind of fold up the tents, pack them up, and go home and give up, or you prove that we've got some pride in the jersey that you have to play. Obviously, at this stage, we're 4-2 down. There's 2 minutes, 9 seconds left.
Yep.
We make that decision that we're calling a timeout. There was no doubt in my mind at that stage that Curtis was coming to the bench. And I said that to the players, if we get one, there's a second one in there for us. There's enough time. 4-2, 5-2, if they had scored, it was irrelevant to us at this stage.
Yep.
So there was obviously a couple of little set plays. We had the personnel on the ice that we wanted. Taking that time out, you not only get a chance to kind of draw that up, but you just allow your players to get that
wee bit extra
30-40 second
breather
in there. So you go with a bit of renewed focus. And then again, it's just this. You see Callie just takes on his backhand, and that's a finish. It's a great finish. Just composure. Then we asked this one about Olivier. Stent spreads it to him quick. Traffic. And at that stage, we're in a situation where probably the majority of the building at 4-2 down with a couple of minutes to go, we're thinking it might be done. I know I spoke personally to a couple of people last night who were thinking about leaving. They were heading towards the exit. And thankfully we proved that would have been a bad decision.
Oh, for sure. But, I mean, at 4-2 down with 2 minutes to go, it's unlikely we're going to get anything out of it. Have you been involved in games where you've had to pull the keeper twice to get 2 goals back? It can't happen that often, can it?
My abiding memory of that situation is I was in Lithuania with the Great Britain under-20s, and I'd done it twice in 50 seconds.
Oh.
It was 50 seconds to go against the Polish team. And it's managed to work, but obviously there's other times where you maybe only even just need one and it doesn't work, and it happened a week or so ago with the GB team where it's that was in my head of the last time I done it here. It didn't go well for us, and I think there was one instance where it went all the way up the ice and it looked like it was going in.
Looked like it was going to hit the post,
hit the outside of the post, and we got a face off back up the other end. So sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And we'll take that at that stage. We still had to execute. I think that was the key. And the bit I liked, Andy, was that when we lost the puck, that we went and hunted it and we got the puck back. Yeah. There was one where obviously you don't see on the condensed highlights here, but Peaks tracks back in the neutral zone and makes a hit on Svek.
Yeah,
where he was probably just about to put the puck in the empty net.
And he's a big laddie.
And he is a big boy. And there was one, Callie, Nolan, and I think even it was Kell at that stage, come right down and press in the corner and turn a puck over and win it back in their zone. So we never gave them any opportunity when they did have the puck. They had that one where they did send it length of the ice, but it's maybe been a bit of a downfall of ours where we've maybe not been hungry enough to go and win that puck back. But I think there was a slash earlier on Craig.
It was.
There was a couple of blocks that almost made us angry, if you like. And I keep saying about I'd love our pros, especially our top end pros, to play desperate, and I thought we got that. Mm-hmm. And when your top players, again, no disrespect to any other players, but when your top end guys are your best players in the night, good things are always going to happen. And then
you get to this overtime bit here, and I think everybody in the building's thinking, oh well, we've got this in the bag now because we've got the momentum. It's Arsenal, it's Dunbar, it's Peacock. We've seen it before, but these players still have to do it, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, I think the one thing we've got is that we're comfortable in our lineup with overtime, and I think even just the addition of Callie and then getting Kell back fit, and even Kersey back fit again now, we have so many options rather than having to rely on the same 3 or 6 guys, and they can be like, I guess the Swindon game we got hemmed in, and fair play to them that night. But when you get tired, it's difficult when you've not got as many options to make the changes you need. Whereas now, we joked about it, and I spoke to him on the bench in between the regulation and the overtime, and it was very simple. It was, you've done the hard bit. You've got yourself back into a game that nobody thought you were getting back into. So you can't go and now let it slip. You got to go finish the job. And I kind of joked with the boys of everybody in the league knows the 3 we're going with. But
I mean, I think even I could have been a coach. The tactic is surely Peacock win the draw, give it to Dunbar and sit back and watch.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think before that we win the draw and it actually ends up it's on RC stick, and Bobby
he's pressured.
Bobby Chamberlain went really hard on him, forced him back a couple of times, but again, the big guy's composure is second to none. So he's just taken that pressure. He's moved the puck at the right time. Dunny gets above Bobby Chamberlain for them. So we go on we'll leave us on a 2-on-2. Peaks gives it to Dunny, and I guess you kind of know what's coming next.
But it was still special.
And Kieran Hare, who was obviously injured last night, was on the bench beside Jamie and almost talked him through what he knew was going to happen, and pretty much called it. And it wasn't a surprise to us, but it was I thought it had just become a big moment for us. A 2-goal deficit with 2 minutes to go, turn into an overtime 2 points. Let's be honest. Probably 3-4 weeks ago we lose that game in regulation.
But these are the sorts of games that can change your season, eh?
I think so. I think we spoke. We spoke for the Raiders game, then we spoke after the Leeds and pre-Hull, and said that this festive period, I think there's winnable games. Again, no belittling or talking down on any team in this league, because everybody can beat anybody, and that's the beauty of this. There was a few of the older players here last night, and I keep describing it as real hockey. You don't know what's going to happen on any given night. And but I think we had a chance now, a little bit of a bounce back for a good performance in Leeds. We've managed to complete this, which we'll see this thing of beauty in a second or two.
That is a thing of beauty.
But then we give ourselves a chance now to try and build on it. And the difference between 1 point and maybe picking up 3, 4, 5, 6 points over the next few games, it propels you right into a different area of the league. And I think you're right, it becomes a big result. And obviously we can watch this one now where it's just nasty. Like it's disgusting. His hands are filthy. He goes through. I've seen that before. He just roofs it, and then I think that there the celebration shows just what it meant to the group, because
it was the highest attendance in the Shark Tank this season, I believe, to see that, and hopefully nobody went home 2 minutes early when they thought it was done and dusted, because that's hockey. But we also like to have a little bit of a look at some things that maybe can be improved upon. Maybe somebody's performance hasn't been as it should, and we've got this little clip from 33 Air Solutions, one of the sponsors, who they took a bit of footage of this as well. I'd like you to talk me through this, and bear in mind who we're talking about here. I need you to be fair about his performance in this clip.
Well, I think it's fair to say, Andy, you know how huge a part of coaching video analysis is.
Oh, absolutely.
So any video we get, we take really seriously, and it helps a player improve. It helps coaches improve. I always say to the players when we're doing the video, especially on an improvement level, it's not personal. It's not about picking out faults in a player's game. And in this clip here, you'll see that
this was the tying goal.
It's the little spread. It's the shot.
Brilliant, wasn't it?
And then,
what's going on here?
Right here. We could probably go back and just look at Olivier's shot there, and then.
Can somebody make that?
I'm going to have to go over it, and look at the hand and wrist positioning, and maybe mixing in a little bit of a knee bend to get more power in the jump.
There wasn't. You couldn't get a bit of paper under his feet, could you? Really?
when I grew up, my dad always used to say you had to at least get a yellow pages under your foot if you're going for a header.
Exactly.
But I love the passion. I think that's what our club's all about, if I'm honest, on a positive side.
He wasn't the only one losing his mind at that point. Let's be fair.
It's very easy. I think it's very easy for, you look at any sport, it's very easy for, the ownership and the chairman and the CEOs of whatever club you're talking at, and they sit there and they sit in the directors' boxes and eat their prawn sandwiches, as Roy Keane used to say. But for that there with John, he gets a bit of ribbon with the showbiz tag that he's got, but that's passion.
Totally.
He already is, as we already know, he's bought in, he loves it, and that was a big moment for us as a whole club on and off the ice. But yeah, I'm not sure he's going to be propelled straight into our starting lineup for a Telford game, but he could, if he mixed in an E-bend, then we'll look at his hand positioning and we'll make him better.
What do you always say? You're looking for the person first, and you can develop anybody.
Yeah,
so he's got that passion.
We'll build on his passion and we'll make his performance better. But I'm glad he enjoyed it, as did the whole building. And
it was great. It was a really fantastic night. And if you didn't enjoy that, you're not a hockey fan. You can't enjoy hockey, because that's what it's all about. I have to say though, if you were the other side of the coin and you're the Hull coach talking to me today, it's a completely different viewpoint, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I mean, I guess Matty's going to look at it and as points dropped. There's no doubt. There were two goals up. He's going to want better D-zone. He's probably going to want them not to have maybe went into a little bit of shell when we pulled the goalie and kind of threw. For me, I always say, and you and I have spoke about this before, the empty net for me is not a license to just shoot pucks the length of the ice.
You just get icing.
Because they come back at you. There was a couple on the game that I'd have liked. If I'm in Matty Davis's position, I'm looking for that to go soft. So it's not going icing. It's just maybe drop them into our zone, and it's another 20, 25 seconds for us to go back and get the puck, and they can get back into their structure. But ultimately, it's not really for me to say. That's just my view on it. That'll be up to Matty and his team. And I think the one thing we also got to look at though is, it is, and it might sound harsh because of the elation of last night, but it is just one game. We now have to. It means nothing to us if we come in here against a Telford Tigers team and don't perform. So he'll be looking at. He's got a point. He's I think you've got some. I think they play Friday and then they play us. Yep. So they'll go back. I'm sure they'll go back to what they're going to do. And they'll be ready to play. Certainly play us when it comes. So there'll be that burning desire for a wee bit of revenge. And for us, we've now got to. We never say never get too high, never get too low. We'll just move on and evaluate the good things, tidy up the bad things. Because I guess, and I said it to the players after the game, as much as they deserve huge credit, for just short 18 minutes there, we were very average to poor in that third period. We've got to learn to play with a lead. And again, we've been in that situation where, we didn't do that. So I don't really want to almost sugarcoat it because of a great comeback. There is still development areas. We kind of joked there about John and his performance, but as a team, we've got to be better in certain elements. But I think getting back to us, for me, it's probably the closest I've felt that we've played to, for any of our fans that have been with us a long time, like I know some of them have, of the old Sharks, if you want to put it that way. Billingham in the cup final, and we've had elements of our game over the last few years where last minute performances that we never gave up, never say die. It's probably the closest to us revealing our true character of where I'd like us to be, and I think that's something that we now have to build on.
You've said it many a time. This team didn't know how to lose, and you got that feeling last night. And when I spoke with Struan after the game up the stairs, he was saying the same thing. So that was good to hear. We go forward at the weekend and we play Telford here, and then we have a return against Hull, who, I have to say fair play to Matty, who came out and gave an interview afterwards to Big Owen on the YouTube channel. they'll be looking for a bit of revenge. So they'll be hurting. But from what I've heard from you today, you're looking for a sustained run moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've got to look that way. I think there's no point, as I say, in winning these games and the emotion that goes with it and the elation that goes with it. And, everybody, even this morning, we look at our own social medias and, people are buzzing. And rightly so. Rightly so. A great crowd, great noise. I mean, the noise when Danny scores that is as good as I've heard here. And but if we don't turn up on Saturday ready to play, it kind of defeats the purpose. And obviously, I've just spent the last couple of weeks with Tommy Watkins for Telford with the GB team, and I know what Telford are all about. I know what Tom's all about. He's a great person. He's a great coach, and they'll be ready to play because they're also one of the teams in that kind of mix, maybe just above that little bottom group, but points are valuable to everybody. So they'll be coming here to win. We'll be coming in to obviously win. Ideally, every team's looking for it, especially at home, you're looking for a regulation win. So we've got to be ready and take it period by period on Saturday and ideally get the result that will then springboard our success for the Sunday. And we go there and it'll be a really, really quick turnaround because it's an early face-off, which
on Sunday.
For me it's the right thing though. We as a club were very, very adamant that none of our players will spend the bells, as we call them in Scotland. None of these players will spend it on a bus or in a car. They got to be with their family. Our club philosophy is people first, as you know. So it was, can we make it an early and afternoon face-off that everybody gets back to spend that time? And I think as players, as staff, as a club, it would be a really successful and good new year if we could be celebrating that with ideally 4 points, minimum 2. But I think we've got to kick on. Then we'd go into a Bristol home. Which again, it's another team that we're fighting tooth and nail with. So the fixtures, as much as they're busy and there's been a bit of travel and the times of the face-offs, we can't complain about that. We just have to keep winning and performing. And if we can perform the way we did in Romford and certainly in Leeds, and then the character we showed for the result last night, we'll put us in a position. And I think everybody needs to continue. Thought last night we trusted the process. Continue to trust it. Stick together on the ice, off the ice, and hopefully it's a really good end to this year for us. I think if we think back to before we joined this league, there was a really good end to last season. There was a nice summer, exciting summer. Then if we could sign off with a really good end to 2023, then I'll maybe even smile again.
Oh wow, there's an exclusive. Listen, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me today. And thank you so much to you and everyone in the Sharks organisation for a fantastic night of hockey and entertainment. Last night it was just brilliant. So thank you for that. And before we go, final message to the fans.
Well, firstly, I hope you've had a great Christmas, and I hope we can give you something to cheer about, to have a happy, healthy, prosperous new year. You guys have been amazing. You've been massive for us. Even last night we needed you. You were there. You've had our back. We're trying our best to have your back. This is our club. We all love it. And we'll continue to love it. And we'll continue to do our best for you guys as much as anybody. And just as I keep saying, stick with us. We're getting there. And we will continue to try and get it right. And just a huge thank you. And hope you're enjoying the hockey.
Thank you to you, Martin, as always, and thanks to everyone watching at home. That's the end of Coach's Corner for this week. Maybe next week we'll see if we can get a larger Coach's Corner with a little look back over the past half season and look forward to next season. But this is Andy Glenn saying cheerio.